So I finally got my letter to Hogwarts School of Podcraft and Wizardry.
Congrats, man. Where is it?
Well, I left it at home, but I did bring my wand.
Awesome! Wait, why is it bent?
Well, I got it early on sale.
Didn't you get it from Ollivanders?
Not exactly. I ordered it from Magazon. Don't worry, Matt.
How about we test it just to be safe?
Sure, go for it.
Buddy Shosticus Podcastico.
Coming to you on a dusty broom. Good spells, I got a wand load. And when you get it, you got something. Don't you worry, 'cause I'm coming. I'm a magic man. I'm a magic man. I'm a magic man. I'm a magic man. You and me, we come from magic worlds. You're casting curses when I look at other girls. Sometimes Snape's creeping and we wonder why. I'm such a baby 'cause the spiders make me cry. Well, there's nothing professors can do. I only wanna ride a broom. Wait on me, girl. Fly in the night if it helps. But more than ever, I simply love you. More than I love magic itself. And I guess that's why they call it a duel. Time with my wand, hit the time spent with you. Laughing like students, living like muggles, flying like thunder, casting like auras. And I guess that's why they call it a duel. There we go. I think we're good to go. Hopefully the audio works here because we can teach you to bewitch them all.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
Mike, wait.
Yeah. I'm like, this is how I normally dress up. So we're on our way to Christmas, and on our last stop, it's episode 193. I don't know why I have to look at my notes. I know what week it is. I'm like, Harry Potter week. The Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets. So, watched 5 hours and 40 minutes of Harry Potter this
Lord,
week.
man.
So, yeah, when I nominated this last week, I had completely forgotten like the length of these, because and I had truly forgotten because when I got home and watched them, I had downloaded the extended versions too.
Oh my god!
So I watched them. And I don't know what versions you watched, but
whatever ones were on Amazon.
But I was like, man, I forgot that these are like fucking epics. I mean, it's a whole book, obviously, that they're putting in there. But I was like, damn, dude, like, I forgot.
If you go back and watch the last episode of Buddy Shots, you'll see the moment when I see the length of.
You were like truly shocked.
Like, good lord, man. But
so,
hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, I would apologize, but I didn't make the films, but I guess I should have been more... I guess if I could go back and do it again, I'd maybe, just pick one of these at a time, because when I want to do the rest of these, and I'm definitely not being like, let's do 2 a week, because it'd be, a little... I mean, it was a little much this week. It was also kind of hard, because these are, the earliest, so, they're more... there's more fluff in them. In my opinion, as far as even the books, it feels like there's more. It's more kid friendly and yeah. So
interesting.
Yeah. Anyway,
I pray to God I watch the extended versions, because if there's longer ones, I was like, dude.
then talking
about.
Do you remember how long it was? You're like, yeah, I was counting down the
2 hours
seconds.
and 32 and 2 hours and 40 something.
So the one I watched, like, they're a little longer, but not by much. Like, the second one is like 2 hours and 54, so it's like almost 3 hours for extended.
Dude, the extended Return of the King is like 4.5 hours long or something, but it's like 40 minutes of credits because they put everyone's name in the credits.
True,
so it's like, whoa.
The credits in this one, like, by the time I got to the end, I was like, oh, this is pretty much over. So, by the time I got to the end, I said, this is almost over. Like, yeah, no,
some hard-hitting.
I'd say it
analysis.
is over. I guess the poll this week, I was like, hey, have you seen this? And pretty much everybody said yes. I mean, as far as it voted, I mean, obviously, we've got people that have that haven't voted that didn't say shit. So, but I can't count votes that were not given. I'm just not that good yet on the Buddy Shotz podcast. Yeah.
Speaking of counting votes,
yeah,
or points, I have something to say about that later.
Are you talking about Dumbledore's fucking Kansas City Chiefs refs
dick move
shit at the end? Yeah, we'll jump all over the place here. You want to go ahead and talk about that now, or do you want to?
Yeah, like it blew my mind. It was like the biggest dick move I've ever seen in like any movie because he announces the winner and then he's like, "But," and everyone's celebrating. It's like, that's not how winners work. Like on the Oscars, they're not like, this movie won.
Yeah.
And then there were some other votes, so actually this movie won. Like, dude, why would you do that?
He's like making up his own shit. It's like, okay.
I was like, this guy's mean.
Yeah. Yeah, his bullshit stuff. It's like it's like that's why like the first one especially is like totally like a kid's film, because like when I was watching it again, it was like stuff like that where it was like Slytherin house wins, and he's just like, but due to some, recent, like, well, if it already happened, why didn't you just include it in the total? Other than to say fuck you to the Slytherins.
Exactly.
Because like, I guess if people didn't know, I'm dressed as Severus Snape, my favorite character.
Yeah.
Which everybody hates that character, or at least they did back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But Dumbledore's bullshit where he's like, 50 points to Hermione, 50 points to Harry, 60 or 50 to like Harry, and then they're like, which means they're tied with Slytherin. But I'm giving 10 points to Neville because standing up to your friends takes just as much courage. And I'm like, well, why didn't he get 50 then? But like, it's just enough to fuck them over. And I was like, really?
Not even Mario Party would be that mean.
Yeah.
Like,
that was like a Bowser move where at the end he's like, actually. I like Dumbledore, but like that was like a true fuck you. Like I couldn't believe that.
I thought it was just weak writing.
Oh yeah. It was just there. It's like kids style. I mean, I don't really know if that's what happens in the books because I haven't read the first two books, but like, because I had only seen the first two movies, and that's when I was like, I can't wait. So I went and read the books and stuff. But like. That was true, like, fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, big time. I'm glad you brought that up, because when I was watching it again, I was like, I can't believe he did that. I guess at the time, I was just, like, so entranced by the magical world, because I had never seen anything like it before.
Yeah.
What'd you think about Dumbledore's ability to steal light bulbs at the beginning? I was like, I guess he's going to start his own hardware store. I never really understood what was the point of that. Like, why didn't he just cast a spell and make everything dark? He's like, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, in a way, I don't really know how to like talk about these movies because I think they're legitimately like really good movies, classics.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of cool stuff in them. But the stuff you mentioned, like that appeals more to kids stuff, I wasn't. Super
I generally like whenever if there's a film like Day of the Dead or something that I actually really like I guess I'll get out of the way. Like I really like the material. I really like the material dressed up as a fucking character over here from the fucking books.
I'm like,
really? Surprise. But like, I'm not like I don't know. I'm not like a child. I've matured enough, dressed up as Severus Snape, to like see the flaws in everything. Like, nothing is, like, ever perfect. Like, there's everything, you know? So it's like, with something like this, you know, I'll take a note and be like, you know, on rewatching, that's kind of fucked up that happened, or, like, like, I guess we'll go ahead and start off and talk about, like, Harry Potter, you know, he's like, the slave to his fucking aunt and uncle and shit like that. And it's, like, it's very much like the, you know, like, Luke Skywalker. I mean, he wasn't a slave, but, like, as far as, like, his upbringing of, like, you know, there's got to be something better out there for, you know, hopefully, but he's being, you know, obviously in this, he's being treated, like, horribly. Like, Luke wasn't treated like shit, but, like, you know, he was just kind of, like, wasting his days. But in this, it's like, yeah, he's like, why the fuck are they treating him like this? And then you kind of find out, like, oh, because of this and that and stuff like that.
He's the one.
Right. The only
Neo
one.
style.
Built by an Amazon. It's like, what? I think it's built like an Amazon, not by an Amazon. And Amazon's like, okay.
I think one thing that they, like, that could have destroyed these movies is, like, the kids that were cast as the actors.
Yeah.
They nailed it. Like, what an amazing job, because if they weren't good, these movies would, you know.
I think in the first one, there's still times when, like, the line delivery is a little, like, shaky, but they're so young that it's, like, you know, it's forgivable, but it's like 99% of the time it's totally fine, and by the second one, that's completely gone. Like, they've totally, like, grown into, like, that, because, I mean, like, to be cast in something this big at that young of an age and have to carry the fucking film, be on screen for, like, the whole time, it's like,
yeah,
you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I've seen plenty of films, like, where they either cop out of that and they say, well, we're going to scale the person up in age and it sucks, or they do cast someone that's, like, young and it's just, like, horrible.
Jake Lloyd.
Yeah, well, poor guy. He got, like, saddled with, like, the biggest franchise ever, and, yeah.
The worst dialogue. No one could... Sir Laurence Olivier could not have pulled that off.
Yeah. In the first one, they, like, show that, like, Harry can talk to snakes, but, like, they don't really show it off what it's like to other people until the second one. And as these movies go on, they get a lot more, like, scary and ominous and stuff, and I think that kind of definitely picks up with the second one when he starts talking, like, parcel tongue or, like, whatever, and, like, everyone's just like, what the fuck? You know, because he thinks it's, like, normal.
I was thinking, could these movies be an origin story for the Swiss Army Man?
Maybe.
He just dies.
Yeah, it's like...
See our previous
Well, they show what happens to it.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
I realized I've only seen these first two.
Ah.
I haven't...
Eventually, I'll be very interested, because I do want to go back and watch all of them on the podcast, because I'm glad that you at least, like, liked. But I do apologize, they're so long, and it was, like, the kind of the roughest ones to get through, because, I mean, I'll say one thing, like, even back in the day when watching it, like, I was like, the Quidditch matches were, like, really not my favorite. Like, they were... I like the idea of, like, this is cool, they have their own sport, like, Wizards have created this sport and stuff, but it's, like, it's one more feather that they put in, like, Harry Potter's cap to make him, like, a god. And it's like, I don't think he really needed this, like, extra thing, because it also kind of... Especially in the first one, the pacing's a little weird, where, like, it just kind of feels like scenes that are stitched together while they weave through the main plot of trying to find out who's really behind trying to get the Sorcerer's Stone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I agree.
You're like, bullshit! You're like, this is godhood.
That was my biggest problem, is I was just kind of bored throughout most... Not bored, but...
No, I know what you mean. No, I know what you mean. Yeah. There are certain parts where it's like...
I enjoyed, like, the acting was amazing by every single person that's in these.
Dude, Hagrid, I think, like, definitely, he was, like, definitely one of my favorite characters going through the entire series.
They're great characters, like, one after another. They're all great. I love all the magic and the sets, and it's, like, there's so much cool stuff to look at in every frame.
Yeah. Like, cut an hour out of this.
Yeah. Like, cut that sorting hat scene down to, like, less than an hour.
Well, the problem is every time they do something new, they have to show, like, 3 people doing it before Harry does it.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Like, we kind of get what's happening here. You know. this movie isn't being shown to like fucking preschoolers. Like they don't even know what fucking shapes are at that point.
I mean, Harry Potter's good, but he's no Percy Jackson.
I've never watched this before.
No one has.
When Hagrid bent the gun, I was like, dude, they need a fucking solo movie about Hagrid.
I'd watch it.
Yeah. I thought this
Too bad that dude's dead, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, not Hagrid, but the guy that
Robbie
played him,
Coltrane.
yeah. The guy that was in that movie with Michael Keaton was like, you want my love? He was like the guy that fucking found the fucking EVPs or whatever in that Ghost movie.
Oh, he was in that?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
He gets crushed by a TV. Like a ghost kills him or something. But now he's killing it as a ghost.
He was Valentin Zukovsky in Goldeneye.
Yes. There's a lot of people in this, like, classically trained actors that are in, like, a ton of stuff.
Like every British actor has to have been in this franchise at some point. It's like one after another.
David Tennant's in one of them, coming up or whatever. You know, there's just a ton of people that show up, and you're like, holy shit, I know. I mean, Alan Rickman, that's something we haven't really talked about, but he...
Yeah, I want to talk about him.
Did he ensnare you?
Dude, so, like...
That's why I love this character.
I was imagining that Alan Rickman, like, saw this cast, and he's like, I'm going to outact every single one of these. And he does, dude. Yeah. Like, he steals every scene.
Yeah, his character is so good, too, like, in the books, and he takes it and runs with it.
It's pretty amazing.
That's why I can't wait to watch the rest of them, because it's like, again, because he's so good. And,
I mean, everyone's great, but he's on another level.
That's
like
true.
You can tell he's like, I'm gonna do it.
Well, I think one of the things that he says that he was talked to J.K. Rowling, the author, at one point, and was just like, okay, so you kind of have to give me something here because I'm doing this and I'm feeling what's going on here with this character. And she kind of told him this and this, and he's like, okay, just enough to kind of make him play it in a certain way so that people are like, why are you playing it that way and stuff like that. And without really saying anything, once we get in and watch more of these, there's definitely deeper layers to when I went back and watched these, I was like this time I was just like, oh, that happened because of this.
They're setting up stuff.
Yeah, because a lot of the stuff, it's because in these two films, that's one of my complaints, where it's kind of watching it again, it's Voldemort tries to come back in the first one, and then in the second one he tries to come back again, and Dumbledore's even once again, Dumbledore or Voldemort has tried to fucking come back, but this time as his younger self, and I was like, they could have skipped the film and had the threat be something else, in my opinion. But I don't know. Maybe she was just coasting on these first two, and then was just like, okay, we're fucking off to the races. Because once it gets to 3, it really starts to fucking
nice.
I like Chris Columbus, and he brings his own I think he works really well with directing these because it makes it feel definitely that Christmas Home Alone vibe and stuff. Oh, yeah. That might be why he didn't show up for the other ones, or not show up.
They're like, where is he?
Hire him. Yeah. But you know what I mean because of that.
Yeah.
One thing that I noticed this time, Hagrid bakes his cake and it says "Happy Birthday," and it's spelled HAPPEE BIRTHDAE, and then Harry is spelled with a Y, and I'm like, so he knows Y's exist. Why did he use E's? It was just weird. Want to give a shout out to John Williams here. Yep. He's a man of many talents, or well, I guess the one conducting. But he Star Wars and so many other films, and he makes this franchise's soundtrack. He makes magic sound. Mm-hmm. He somehow makes music that makes you be like, holy shit, that's what magic sounds like. And it sounded Christmas and know.
It sounded like he combined Star Wars and Home Alone.
Yeah.
Into Harry Potter.
And he created he created a theme that's so separate from anything else. For the Harry Potter theme, it's that doesn't sound like anything else, and when you hear it, it's when you hear something from Star Wars, that's Star Wars, so.
John Williams, through and through.
Napo 9-5 through and through. Watching it again, I was like, Muggle kind of sounds like a slur. It's for non-magic folk. But then in the second film, you find out actually there is a big-time slur
You pecs.
Yeah. Yeah, Harry Potter, when he first shows up in Diagon Alley or whatever, fucking all those people are like, oh god, it's fucking Harry Potter. They're like, oh. I'm like, and he's just like, Hagrid, how do these people know my name? And he's just like, because you're fucking famous, bro. That is kind of weird. I mean, that's I think one thing, I mean, it sucks. You think about it and you're like, well, why didn't like Dumbledore just like raise him, or like why didn't they? But it's like they wanted him to be humbled because he had great powers that he would be able to use one day, and they didn't want him to possibly turn to the dark side and be like another Voldemort, so they had to make him fucking humble and shit. Because that's how I felt. Like, I think, I mean, it sucks, but it's like they're playing with fucking fire and they don't want the world to get burned. Dude, when I first saw the set for Diagon Alley, when they first go through there, I was like, holy shit.
It's really cool.
I was like, dude, this is so fun. I mean, to the point where, I mean, now you can go to fucking, what is it, Universal Studios, and they have, you know, that's one thing I think I want to do one day is go there and, you know, I don't know if I want to buy a robe or anything like that, because I kind of already have all that shit, but it'd be cool to go there and, you know, just walk around and stuff. So when you saw this Nimbus 2000, did you know that Harry was going to get it in the film? I mean, you already saw it, so...
Yeah, but I didn't remember those details.
But you were probably like, that's just another thing in a kid movie for the main character to get, like, to collect. It's like another inventory slot is going to be occupied.
I love how before the year 2000, everything was labeled 2000.
But the weird thing is, in the second one, I would think, okay, so they're going to, like, upgrade it big time, and it's like Nimbus 2001.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
This year's model.
Why isn't it just one more?
3000.
But, like, this takes place in, like, the 90s, so it's like, Anyway, like you said.
The Quidditch stuff, like you said, the scenes, I guess, is kind of cool looking, but...
It's cool, but it's kind of like...
I don't like that there's a separate game going on where you just catch the thing and you instantly win. I'm like, this is so stupid.
It's another thing where, like, the main character can completely just fucking
and then when he did it again in the second movie, I was like, come on, dude.
He's that good.
The game doesn't even matter.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. It's like, so I guess if the seeker never catches the snitch, then by the time runs out, then it's like whoever's up. But if some dude just catches it right off the bat, the game's over. So, like, I guess has there been, like, a fucking match, it's like Santino style, where, like, fucking the dude catches the snitch in, like, 5 seconds, and he's like, the snitch is like, I'm not ready! The snitch is
It'd be like if in football, like, you have a football game, and then, like, a guy's standing like, if you flip a quarter 50 times, you win. It's like,
I'd actually watch that.
that'd be riveting.
Give the Bengals a chance for once. We got our offense, we got our defense, and then we got our special teams of the guy, like, trying to catch, like, a flying football, like, the whole time. There's, like, 2 dudes on each team trying to go after this one fucking thing. They're, like, running through the stands and shit. That would actually be kind of funny. Gringotts Bank run by goblins. So those fuckers looked cool, but scary.
Yeah. So since you mentioned...
We got Warwick Davis and Vern Troyer in this.
Since you mentioned that, it's time for a new segment.
Sweet, okay.
So these movies are filled with, like, hideous monsters and freaks and all kinds of, like, stuff. So I wanted to play a little game where I show you 2 freaks from the Harry Potter universe.
Okay.
And you tell me which one you like best and why.
Oh, okay.
And I invented a new name for this game. A Freakoff.
I'm like, I start twerking.
The Harry Potter Freakoff. And I think if you title this episode Harry Potter Freakoff, you'll get like 1 billion hits.
Or we'll get demonetized for thinking it's something else.
There's 8 rounds.
Okay.
Are you ready?
So, like,
to Freakoff.
So wait, so the rounds are literally just my opinion?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought this was going to be like a quiz where I had to, like, tell you what it was or something.
So which of these 2 freaks
oh my God. So
do you like best?
We've got
Warwick Davis.
Yeah, the Gringotts Banker and the Centaur. I mean, I probably like the Banker better just because, like, when I watched it, like, this was, like, practical and, like, even though I like the Centaurs, like, and they get better as the movies go on, like, the graphics and stuff. It's like, kind of just, like, very CG.
Yeah. Okay.
I like both creatures. It's just these things. I mean, also, like, these guys, like, fucking are like, hey, I'm wearing clothes, and this guy's fucking hanging dong.
I like all the freaks in these movies.
Yeah, I do too.
Are you ready for your next round of freaks?
What the fuck? Dude, that's scary as fuck. Is that a Dobby mask?
Stupidest looking mask.
I mean,
the troll.
I personally like Dobby, like, as a character. He gets more screen time and stuff in the books and throughout the movies and stuff. It's kind of hard, I guess, to compare like the 5 seconds the troll gets in the movie.
I thought the ogre was pretty cool.
He was cool. He sadly only gets one. I think what happened is, like, there's one scene at the very end where it's a practical model, and the rest is like a PS2 kind of deal. Whereas Dobby, like, is fully CG, but he's closer to, like, Smeagol or whatever. I feel like. I mean, he's pretty. It's pretty good. I feel like. I would rather see this than fucking that.
I never want to see that.
But like, Dobby as a character, I mean, I like him more. But
cool. Are you ready for
dude, that is like fucking the scariest shit. It's like,
are ready for the next round of freaks.
You'll have to send me these pictures so that I can, like, put them up.
Hopefully you can show them while we're doing this. He's a redheaded freak.
So it's fucking Ron Weasley versus Fluffy the Cerberus.
He's a ginger.
He's a freak. Looking at that actually looks not as bad as I thought it would. You know what I mean? Like, they're pretty
cartoony.
Yeah. I mean, Ron's like a main character. I don't know.
Andy is a person.
Right? Yeah. He was going fucking freak style in the second film.
That's true.
He's like, oh. He's going like fucking Bud and Lou style in the second film. Like, something happened, he'd be like, I'm like, Jesus. I mean, Ron.
Cool. It's time for the next freaks.
So which one of these is the freak? Hagrid or the dragon?
But it was funny with both of them.
So there's a picture of Hagrid looking at Norbert his dragon and Mr. Bean Voldemort.
That's why he must not be named.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, when he finally shows up, like, his acting is fucking out of control.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, good?
Yeah,
okay.
Like, because I forget who he's played by, but, you know.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Cool.
I mean, I don't like Voldemort's a bastard, but, like, you know,
a cool character.
Yeah. But
right.
I mean, the dragon was cool too because it was practical.
I liked it too.
Yeah.
It's time for the next freaks.
Is this one a triple or no? It's like she's a freak, he's a freak, and that character's a freak. You should have put that picture where he's like butt naked pissing off the fucking side of the.
I messed up.
So we've got Hermione when she fucks up the Polyjuice potion and becomes like a person from the shitty fucking Cats movie. Actually, that looks better than the Cats movie.
That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I like the effect.
Vern Troyer as, I think his name is like Hook something or whatever. Which he's like a goblin banker assistant.
I miss when he was in so many movies.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he was in everything.
He was like the coach for The Love Guru or whatever.
His finest role.
Yeah. What everyone knows him from. I don't know. They're both cool. I mean, I guess we've already had a goblin on here, right? So,
that's true.
I don't know. The Hermione one looks really,
I like
really
how
sweet.
she just hid for like a big chunk of the movie.
Yeah, yeah. She like pulled a fucking Chris Jericho hiding from Hogan in WCW. I mean, yeah, it's hard. I like everybody on this page.
It's a tie.
Yeah.
It's time for the next round of
Oh,
hideous
shit.
freaks.
This was probably the best one yet. It's the fucking
Couple of
basilisk from the second film and J.K. Rowling, the fucking trans hater.
Which is the true monster?
Well, J.K. Rowling, obviously. Because the basilisk, it's in his nature to be who he is.
That's true.
Even though I guess he was controlled by Tom Riddle, so that's a lie.
And he got stabbed.
I pulled a Porky. Or I told a Porky. Yeah, I mean, the basilisk rules.
Cool. I agree.
J.K. Rowling rules.
I think we got 2 left. Are you
Yes.
ready for the next
Dude,
Freakoff?
This is like the greatest shit ever. So we've got 2 characters that weren't in the film versus
What?
fucking, sadly. They would fit right in, though.
I agree.
I would love to see, like, a Harry Potter Lord of the Rings deal. But I really think that, yeah, people would probably be flipping out about that.
I wasn't a fan of this scene. That was like some of the kiddie stuff. I didn't
Yeah,
quite enjoy.
what are those? Cornish
Pixies?
pickies. Yeah, Cornish pixies that were freshly caught. And they,
I was just like-
look like fucking flying Martians. They're like, yeah. And once again, Neville's being tortured in the background out of focus. And we've got Merry and Pippin. Merry and Pippin.
Mist and
Even though
shadows.
well, I mean, I guess they're not freaks, but like, they rule.
Look at those ears.
Yeah, they rule.
All right, final round of the Freakoff.
Oh shit.
Let's do this. It's like some AI shit going on. In that
Yeah,
one.
it's like somebody made an AI Severus Snape, and his face is like fucked up. He's like, I guess I don't know if that's supposed to be like somebody was like he's eating a carrot stick or it's his wand and it's fucked up, and then the other dude is like some loser in a fucking Harry Potter adult costume. Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. But it's like some dude showing off his, I guess, Party City Harry Potter costume.
It's a tight fit.
I mean, Severus Snape, he's fucking the man.
Cool.
Even though I guess that's AI as fuck, so it's kind
Never
of...
wanna
I'm
see
surprised
that.
he doesn't have another finger.
Yeah.
Dude.
Thanks for playing the Harry Potter Freakoff.
That was so good.
I thought you'd enjoy that.
Dude. How long did you spend on that this week?
I don't want to say.
We won't say because maybe you'll get in trouble with your work.
I did not do it during working hours, although I thought about it.
Yeah. Which means you probably worked on it during working hours in your head. That's awesome. I wish we could do that every week. There's not a freak in every movie, or is there? Here's another accomplishment for Harry. His parents left him like $1 billion. He's like rich as fuck. I mean, this first movie is like, you know, for every kid or whatever out there that like, you know, maybe didn't have a lot. You know what I mean? It's kind of cool to see this kind of stuff. Like, oh, he's got money, he's got fame, he's got, you know. But there's a little danger mixed in.
Wish fulfillment.
Yes, exactly. Ollivanders, makers of fine wands since 382 BC. That's like a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't catch that till now when I was watching this. I was like, what? It was cool to see John Hurt in this. He's like the dude that like fits people with wands. He's always good.
Oh yeah. R.I.P. to the great one.
Yeah, sadly, there's a lot of people that have passed away that were in this film.
I know.
It's like, you know, Alan Rickman, both fucking Dumbledores, I'm pretty sure, right? Like Michael, he passed away, and Alan, the original Dumbledore, and fucking Maggie Smith as McGonagall.
But not your girl Fiona Shaw from Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah, true. She's still kicking it. The main three are still around, thank God. Hagrid passed away. Is Filch dead?
I don't know.
Like, he was in Game of Thrones too, so Speaking of Hagrid, he says something here that is fucking dumb as shit. Voldemort used a curse, and an evil one at that. I'm like, dude, like, curses are always evil. Like, most of them are once... Like, I think all curses are used to, like, torture somebody. I mean, obviously, maybe she didn't know that at the time when she was writing this, but, like... Or, like, it was in the movie, but, like, yeah, definitely there's, like, curses... All the curses that are kind of shown in the books and stuff are, like, fucked up. It's, like, people getting twisted and being fucking, like, pain, torturous kind of shit. Like, the killing curse.
Spitting up slugs.
Yeah, well, I guess that one's not evil. But it's like, is that a curse? Or I guess that is a curse, right? It's not a spell. It's like, what's the difference? Only time will tell.
Nobody knows.
Yeah. Also, I thought it was funny that Hagrid Batmans the fuck out of Harry Potter for no reason. Instead of taking him to platform 9 3/4, he just he turns around and, like, he fucking Batmans him like fucking Commissioner Gordon style.
I was trying to think of what you meant by that.
He's so fuck out of him and lays him away. But you know what I mean?
He's like, swear to me!
Yeah. He's like, get the fuck out of here! 37 minutes in, Ron says, whoa.
There's a lot of woes in this movie.
Yeah.
As there should be.
I liked, like, when they had the first years come up through the boats. It's that scene where they, like, ride over the lake and you, like, see the castle in the background. It's like, holy shit.
For as cool as the castle was, I hope they eventually break out and go on see other
yeah
lands.
Oh yeah, like these I forgot that these first two are essentially like
castle antics.
Yeah. And it's also like you don't get to see, I mean, it's also like a lot of stuff that's pretty basic, whereas like even the stuff they do like later on in the castle while attending school is like stuff that you do see, like, you know, like other stuff. And you know, what do you think about Draco Malfoy, the nemesis for Harry Potter?
That kid's gonna be trouble.
I know, right? Yeah. Who plays him again? It's like
nobody knows.
Tom something. One of the things he said though was that when he came to try out, he actually tried out for Harry Potter and Ron. And they were like, actually, you're gonna be perfect for fucking Malfoy. And he was like, shit. But I think he plays him great.
I agree.
I was like, holy shit, dude.
Tom Felton.
Yeah, to be that good at that young, to be like, play a complete bastard. A fucking prick. I have a note here that says, Dumbledore is like, do you want to die?
You're gonna die.
Yeah, because at 44 minutes, he's like, no, I suggest no one go into the fucking dungeon unless you want to die a horrible death. I was like, why didn't you just say fucking it's off limits? It's like, Jesus! He's like, you want to die, motherfucker?
Put a lock on it.
Yeah. So this is one thing, I don't know if I brought this up with Spider-Man, but like, you remember in Spider-Man 1 when like Tobey Maguire first is Spider-Man before he has like the actual costume, and he puts on that mask and you can kind of see his eyes, but they're like CG'd in. That's how the Sorting Hat looks. It's like got that weird super dark right under the fucking hat thing, and I think it used the same whatever technology they used. It just, I've always thought it was weird. It's not like, it's just not all there. It's just kind of weird, you know. It's like super dark for whatever reason. Like they put on the Sorting Hat and it becomes like a fucking like cloak or something.
It always reminded me of this. I thought they ripped off from The Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh yeah. But like as far as like the that'd be J.K. Rowling, I guess, that ripped it off. But like, you know what I mean? Like when they put on the hat, underneath it, it's got that weird like darkened like I don't know how to describe it. You'd have to watch it and see.
So I haven't read the books, but
yeah,
I don't understand why there's so much importance about the different like classes or the different clans or whatever they're called.
But like why there's like differences between the houses or whatever. It's weird because you know what I was thinking is like, I think it's mainly kind of like the reason why the turtles ended up getting colored headbands, because they start putting the Sorting Hat, for whatever reason, I don't know why they think it's a good idea to sort people of the same mindset together, because, like, all the people that are, like, Malfoy and think that, like, purebloods are the best way get, like, sorted into Slytherin.
Yeah.
And, like, after the whole thing with Salazar Slytherin being like, we should fucking not let anybody but purebloods study at Hogwarts, and they kicked him out because they were like, that's fucked up. Why would you continue to sort all of them together of that same mindset? You would want someone to challenge your viewpoints.
Change your name to
Which I never really thought about that till just now. Other than it being, like I said, like the Turtles, where it's easy for kids to differentiate, like, here's a bad guy and here's a good guy, because everyone in Gryffindor is a good guy and everyone's in Slytherin's a bad guy. But that's all I think, you know, like the writing too from JK, where it's like, because like some of the other, like the other Harry Potter media, like the Hogwarts game that came out or whatever, like Legacy of Hogwarts, that game like kind of breaks out of the stereotypes of like there's like character, like there's a character in it where it's like he's Slytherin and he's not, like he's free thinking and like, you know, you think that he's the bad guy but he's like the good guy and kind of thing, like where it's like I think this was just dumbed down, you know what I mean, where it's just like that's the only thing, because other than that it makes no sense, like you said, for it's like, you know, I could understand if they're like, hey, we want to split people up so it's a little easier to kind of, you know, but as far as like where they would stay, but like I would not ever put the exact same like-minded thinkers in this, you know, that's how you get fucking like Nazis and shit. It's like, how the fuck did all these people, you know, support fucking Voldemort?
Oh wait, evil kids in the evil
planet. We put him in this one spot and nobody was there to challenge him. Maybe that's a fucking bad idea. What'd you think about McGonagall transforming before your eyes?
That was cool.
Were you shocked? But I will tell you this. On this podcast, there will be no foolish wand waving or silly incantations in this class. It's like...
I think there has been some silly wand
Yes! It's like... He's like... I can make you fucking bewitched. It's like... Okay? Like, how about you fucking chill out, brother? This guy is like the OG goth. Fucking... This guy is like Batman goth style. He's like... Yeah, I
can see it.
Yeah, I can't, like, say a bad thing about Snape. He's kicking ass. And Neville's doing, like, his best Ringo Starr in this fucking shit. I'm like, okay. He's like, hey, guys.
I'm warning you with peace and love.
Yeah, he's like, you shouldn't go out there. It's like, hey. Yeah, I thought this was just fucked up how, like, he's supposed to get in trouble, but once again, it's like, McGonagall, like, sees him, and he's, like, riding his broom, and he's like, she's like, come with me, because you're gonna be on the new fucking, you're gonna be on the team. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Also,
Bait
dude,
and switch.
Fucking Dumbledore is such a fucking dick rider in this. He's like, Harry Potter, what you did was unmentionable, and for that I'm giving you 50 points. I'm like, what? Like, he does that in the second film, too.
Well, that's what I liked about the second one, is like, he saved the day at the end of the first one.
Yeah.
He's the greatest hero ever, and then when he comes back for the next season, they're like, Harry Potter, you're gonna be in trouble again.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
What the fuck?
Did you forget about all
He's like
last
a
year?
god. Yeah, Harry Potter on the troll's head, when it attacks Hermione in the fucking bathrooms, is like a PS2 character. He's like flopping around. I was like, holy shit.
That was the cutting edge CG of 2001.
That's true. But the person that officiated the Quidditch match, are you in the Madam Hooch? Michael?
Now I get it. Like, you got the hoop,
Oh, yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Got the only sweetest thing in the world.
I think this is one of the only things that I'll really say more about Quidditch in, like, just in general, is that, like, in the beginning here, when he's supposed to be seeking the fucking snitch, Like, Harry is just watching the game instead of going for it for the first, 20 minutes. He's like when something would happen,
get your head in the game.
fucking, they would make a score by, the bad team, and they would just cut to Harry's fucking reaction. He's like, and I'm like, why isn't he doing his job? Like, what is going on right now? And then, when he gets the snitch, he spits it out, Will Sasso style. He was like, what'd you think about that? What did you think of that at all?
No, but I wish
I was cracking up because I was like, home. Both these films have awesome Christmas looks to them. When this first one, it's like, holy shit, dude, they go all out with the way it looks with Christmas. And then the second one, they even have people on fucking horses, in carriages in the snow, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I did in the second one, the
Yeah.
Quidditch match, how many fans were killed in that? What was the body count on that? That was insane. It was
Also,
Robot Jocks style, people getting crushed in the
also
stands.
in the first one, when Snape's cloak gets lit on fire, he never fucking questions how that happened. Literally the one dude's just like, you're on fire! And I was like, wouldn't somebody be like, how the fuck did this happen?
NBA Jam style.
That's
He was
true.
on fire.
He was. Snape NBA Jam, hell yeah. Harry and Hermione pull a dolphin week. They were like, Ron's like, immortal? And Hermione says, it means you'll never die. And he says, I know what it means!
Dude, nice.
I was like, dude. Phil, what do you... so I guess we haven't really talked about this, but Filch, what do you think about this character? This guy was a fucking crazy person. He was like, I miss when they used to let fucking kids be tortured with thumb screws. And I'm like, Jesus! This guy is a fucking nutcase.
He was like Freddy Krueger before he was killed.
Yeah. Yeah, he's
He's definitely going to turn into
the
a Freddy
opposite of
Krueger.
Hagrid. Hagrid's the nice groundskeeper, and Filch is looking to fucking get someone killed. Even to the point where he says he's going to kill Harry Potter. He's like, you killed my cat. I'll kill you. I'll kill it! And
dude, your job is to clean bathrooms.
Also, he doesn't know magic. How the fuck is that gonna work? He's just gonna try to strangle him or something? It's
He's just diplomatic.
yeah. He's like, fuck you. I'm like, huh? I like the part in the second one with Filch and Hagrid where they have to go into the... Is it the first? Maybe it's the second one where he's just or maybe this one where he's like, I had to get rid of that dragon or whatever, and he's just get yourself together, man. This is fucking, embarrassing. I was just like, Jesus. I like where he's like, you're going into the forest tonight. Got to have your wits about you. I don't know why. That always cracked me up every time I've watched this. I'm like, why the fuck does he act like that? He's trying to outact fucking Snape. He's like, the forest can ensnare your mind. Okay. So this is another thing I didn't notice until this time when I watched it, but Hagrid is playing the fucking theme song, Ghostbusters 2 style. He plays fucking the Harry Potter theme, and I'm like, what? He's like, dun, 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 and they go over to talk to him, and I'm like, wait a minute, what?
That happened in a Bond movie too once.
Yeah. But it's when it happened, I was like, I didn't even think about it. And then when it happened this time when I watched it, I was like, what? How did I miss that? Probably because I wasn't doing a podcast and trying to...
You were just so enchanted.
That's true.
You were under this movie's spell.
I was like... So we've got all these tests akin to a kids movie. We've got... You have to get past the dog, devil snare, the keep flying wizard, and then fucking wizard's chest. Or chest, not chest. And fucking Ron gets murdered. But he doesn't. I was like, dude, that would have killed someone.
Yeah. I thought the chess scene was cool, but the climax of this movie was kind of unsatisfying in my opinion.
Oh yeah, I think when I watched it again, I was expecting something to happen again. Like, holy shit, what's going to happen?
Harry just
because it had just been so long since I've seen this, and so you find out that the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher is Quirrell. I mean, he's, some guy that wears a turban, and he's like fucking really meek, and then he's like, actually it was all an act, and Voldemort is on my head, and I don't guess he's being controlled by him or something, or I don't know. But like when Harry goes to touch him, he like fucking, it's like vampire style, he like turns to dust, and then he just dies, and then Voldemort goes through him like a fucking ghost and flies away. It's like,
see you in the next movie.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? If that was just kind of like maybe when she was writing the first book, she didn't know what the fuck, how to end it, and was just like, fucking, he's a ghost and he flies away. Like, and they're like, how could he do this? And it's like, Harry Potter's mother's like love helped him because it was her own. My sacrifice. But like,
what's your mom's name? Martha.
Yeah, but Dumbledore's like, yeah, it was because of your fucking mom. She fucking, she got a scar, and it's like, no, it was fucking in her heart. And I was just like, dude, this is something. And then Harry Potter says, I'm not going home, really. And then it's like the last scene where they're on the train about to go home. I was like, oh, that's a cool, I mean, the shots in this are great, like that and stuff.
Definitely.
So I guess we've been kind of talking stuff all over the place here, but I guess we haven't really talked about how in the second film Dobby shows up to fuck Harry Potter's life over. So
that was a funny scene.
Yeah, I mean, he keeps fucking everything up. He's like slamming his head against the fucking wall and shit. And did you think that Vernon, the uncle, saying "freaky friends" 100 times was funny?
No.
And then Vernon dies because he fucking falls out a window.
He died?
No, he doesn't die.
I was like, what died? That's not holy shit.
But it's like he goes head over fucking heels out a window and like lives, and I was like, what? It's another scene like in the first film. I guess we didn't really talk about that, but it was no reason to really talk about it. But like, fucking, where the uncle is trying to fucking like grab and restrain fucking Harry.
Yeah, I did like how extremely mean they are to him.
Yes,
I thought that was very.
I mean, I think it sets up for the flip side of that, of him actually being treated like a person and not like a piece of shit. Which is, I think it works. I mean, it's out of control and it's over the top, but it works because then you're able to use that as a plot device to be like,
And they're ridiculously over the top to their son. He's like, I only got 32 presents.
Yeah.
Like, we'll get you another one.
He's dressed up as like fucking berries and cream in the first film. And he's like, they're taking a picture of him. He's like, yee. Ginny is in love with Harry Potter in this first. So she was kind of shown in the first one, but like she had one line in the first film.
Yeah, I didn't
she's
really
like good luck or whatever when they were, he's doing his shit, and then I guess like over the summer she learned about Harry Potter's exploits of saving the day in the first film and was like, oh. So keep an eye on Ginny. She might be something in the future.
I love the design of the Weasley house.
Dude, the Weasleys are so awesome because
really
they're
cool.
like a total flip from the Dursleys. Like they've got all these kids and they treat, they make do with what they can, while the Dursleys like have one kid and they treat him like a prince and kiss his ass and stuff.
Spoiled
but like
rotten.
Julie Walters and Mark Williams as Mr. or Mrs. and Mr. Weasley. And I guess I didn't really say, I guess we did talk about Aunt Petunia, Super Mario Brothers fame.
Yeah.
And the Uncle Vernon is played by
Richard Griffiths.
Yeah. So I feel like half this podcast has just been like talking about people.
Listing off dead British actors.
Yeah. So this is probably one of my, like, out of the two films, I think this is like one of the scenes that I find the funniest, is when they go to like Diagon Alley and they use flue powder, and it's like, oh, that's a cool new thing, and like Harry says diagonally, and they're like, what did he say? And like he's like, the dad's like, diagonally, and she's like, that's what I thought he said, and fucking he goes supine out the fucking out of a fucking like chimney. I was like, dude, this is like, I don't know why I always thought that was so funny, that whole sequence. It's like, and then we've got Jason Isaacs as Lucius Malfoy. He fucking rules as his character. Like, such a fucking asshole. Like, you know, Voldemort, a sympathizer pretty much. Like, he believes that, you know, the only people that should be at Hogwarts are people that have magical parents. Mm-hmm. Like, you should not be like Hermione and have humans as parents. Well, I guess everybody's a human, but, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
man, he was so good in Star Trek Discovery. Remember when he was one of the captains?
Yeah, he was great in what's his name? I forget, like, the guy that had to keep putting that shit in his eyes or whatever.
Yeah, I forget his name.
Yeah.
He's always good, though.
Yeah. But when he shows this guy, this thing in the box, the dude, the seller, he has an orgasm. The guy with that sees the stuff in the box, not Lucius Malfoy. He's like, oh. But you kind of see, like, a little hint that, like, Lucius treats, like, Draco like shit. So that's why Draco, you know, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost.
Hurt people.
Lucius Malfoy is who I admire the most. Not really. He's a fucking asshole.
Too hot to handle, too cold to hold.
Yeah. Go Harry Potter. I don't know. So we've got Kenneth Branagh here as Gilderoy Lockhart.
He's my MVP of this movie.
I love this character.
Yeah,
I think when it came out, people were like, this character's dumb.
Really?
But, well, yeah, because he's like, you know, back then, it's like, it really just depended, but, like, you know, he's kind of like a Hercule character from Dragon Ball, where he talks a big game, but he's full of shit. Like, but I mean, as I've grown older, and even back then, I liked those characters.
And he got to have redemption at the end.
Yes.
It was great.
Yeah. But, like, I almost wonder if, like, you know, when he forgot his memories and stuff, maybe he went on to be Hercule Poirot.
Hey?
Probably not.
Origin story.
Yeah. Yeah. The Rise of the Niles Catcher. Catcher! It's like, what?
I liked how 49 minutes into this movie, the Chamber of Secrets is first mentioned.
Yeah!
I'm like, dude,
Yeah!
come
It's
on.
like, fuck!
But then it was so funny because they're like, inside the chamber waits a monster.
Yeah.
And I'm like, haven't we seen like 80 monsters?
Yeah,
already?
it's like, that's not really a huge deal when, like...
a world full of monsters.
Like, one thing if trolls didn't exist, but we just saw one in the first film try to absolutely kill a fucking little girl. I was cracking up when they go to fucking get into, like, the platform at 9 3/4, and fucking Harry and Ron join ECW and go fucking head over heels.
Dude, I knew that was going to happen.
I was like, ECW!
And it was satisfying.
ECW! Also, when they're on the tracks, and fucking Harry and Ron comically look back at the train, Bud and Lou style, they're like, we're almost there. Oh, wait, I think I hear it. And then Harry's like, wait a minute. And Ron's like, and then they're like, ah! I'm like, why would you look back? Why wouldn't you just keep driving?
Yeah, that was great.
Filch is like, you're in trouble now. I'm like, Jesus, dude.
Like he saved the place last year. Cut him some slack.
He's looking to fucking kill anyone. Like, I mean, I think Filch is a Slytherin sympathizer because, like, during the first Quidditch match in the first film, when somebody scores, it's Slytherin. He's like, ah! I'm like, Jesus. Also, this part with the Mandrakes makes no sense because the teacher tells you to put on your earmuffs because, like, you know, you'll be knocked out because they're younger, but normally a Mandrake scream can kill you. And the teacher says, put on your earmuffs so you don't get knocked out by the Mandrake screams. But then she gives you instructions while you're wearing the fucking earmuffs. How the fuck does that work?
Plot hole.
How the fuck do Mandrakes, how the fuck do they work? I don't want to talk to an herbalist getting me pissed.
Long neck wizards.
Also, Malfoy tries to gag a Mandrake. He's like, what? And it, like, bites his finger and he's like, yee! It's like, fucking, I don't know, practical effect fucking play. Kind of like everything about the Weasleys is, like, a little off.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've got, like, an owl that fucking crashes and, like, fucks everything up. They've, like...
They got lots of problems, but they persevere.
Yeah, they got lots of problems, but they got one thing that money
one.
can't buy. Love and family.
That's two things.
Oh, yeah.
You got.
I did. Also, I love Gilderoy is like, allow myself to introduce myself.
I'm trying to find it. Okay, it's Professor Sprout, played by Miriam Margolyes.
Yes.
I always think of her because she's the only... She went toe-to-toe with fucking Arnold in
Yeah.
End of Days.
Yeah. Also, she talked about how he farted in her face or whatever. I was like... Okay. I thought it was funny that Lockhart, on the first day of Defense Against the Dark Arts, gives the students a fucking, like, quiz on himself.
Yeah. That was great.
My thing is, like, I like this character. I like him a lot more than Quirrell. Quirrell was, like, literally just, like... He was the surprise bad guy.
Yeah, it didn't really
But, like...
make an impact.
My thing is, like... They're like... Snape has been vying for fucking Defense Against the Dark Arts for fucking ever. And I'm like... well then why the fuck, once Quirrell was out, did they not give it to Snape? And instead they gave it to Lockhart, who... I'm pretty sure the teachers knew he was full of shit. Like, let's just... leave one of the most important things up to this guy that's full of shit. I mean, obviously in the book, in the movie, it works because it's like, you know, he's a cool character and that kind of a thing, but they're essentially like 2 years down on not having anything of substance come from Defense Against the Dark Arts. Ron gets cursed and he pukes up the raw gray slugs. What do you think about that?
I thought it was a
You're like, I loved it!
effective gross out moment.
Yeah. I was actually shocked when I watched the first film, and I was like, dude, this is a film for kids, but there's that part where, like, fucking John Cleese as, like, that ghost is, like, they're like, how are you nearly headless? And he, like, fucking takes off his head, and you see, like, his fucking stump, and I'm like,
Check out my stump.
If I was a kid, I would have been like, I would have been, like, crying. Yeah. But it was cool to see John Cleese as nearly headless Nick. Mudblood is a slur for non-magic people. Filch's cat, Miss Norris, gets killed. That's when he sees red.
And Harry's dead.
Yeah, the end of the movie. I still don't know what to feel about, like, the class where they turned fucking animals into fucking, like, goblets. What's the point of that?
Yeah, I didn't think about it, but
because they like turn she turns a toucan into a goblet, and then fucking Ron does it, and his squirrel is like fucking, or rat is contorted to fucking hellish proportions, and I'm like,
animal torture.
Like, why would you do that though? Like, what would be I don't have a cup, and instead of just not using a cup, I'll fucking turn my when Gilderoy repairs the arm. That's like fucked up because it's like floppy as shit.
Dude, that was the funniest thing in both of these movies for me. I was cracking up.
Yeah, I was like...
He's like, ah!
Yeah.
That was great. I love that.
Harry's reaction, though, was, like, not appropriate. He was just, like, looking at it, and I was like...
He's just disappointed.
Dude, I'd be fucking flipping out. Daniel Radcliffe's never had a bone taken out of his arm, apparently. Come on.
Body horror.
Skelegro. Dobby is used to death threats. He gets them 5 times a day at home. I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
Like probably every couple 3 hours, getting a death threat.
Yeah. It's not from his family. It's just some random dude.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, he's like, fuck you. Moaning Myrtle's like a fucking female ghost, Steve Urkel.
Yeah. I didn't think about that.
She's like, I do that. I was fucking turned into a ghost by a snake.
Urkel should have been a ghost.
Just IRL. You're threatening to kill
the real life Urkel.
You're threatening to kill Jaleel White.
It's like the real Kramer. Remember that?
It's like, oh. Yeah, when the part where like there's a snake on the dueling field, and like Harry starts to talk it down, and Snape's like,
wait a sec.
The way he looks at him, yeah, he's just like, it sells it so well. It's like, holy shit, dude, like, something is not right here, because he's like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
This is not a common thing. Like, I guess it's like, can people just not learn how to talk snake? Because the only people that they were like, could talk it are Voldemort and like the original Slytherin, like Salazar Slytherin. So it's like, was this just not a...
They're snake sensitive.
That's true. Maybe it's like, yeah, like, I guess it's like in a world of wizards, maybe like that's kind of like the Jedi is the person that can talk to a snake.
But we never saw him learn. He's a snaky Sue.
That's true, he is.
We never saw him train.
I mean, Harry Potter is kind of like a Ray. He's got everything he wants and nothing he doesn't. The ultimate gentleman spy. I'm like, witches want to be with him and wizards want to be him. The ultimate. Chosen one.
Gentleman boy.
Gentleman boy. Dude, that's what I should change my nickname to on PlayStation. Gentleman boy.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, I know, right? So you're like, because I already have it.
Because I'm going to do it right now.
Fuck! I'm like, Gentleman boy, 666. Yeah. According to... So, like, once this happens, everybody's like, blame it. Like, Harry fucking is a piece of shit because he can speak, like, with snakes. And, like, one of the students is like, the reason Voldemort tried to kill him was because he was like, there can only be one Dark Lord. And I was like, what? He was a fucking kid. Like, he's like, I better kill this asshole right now. It's like this guy is like stretching shit.
Kind of like killing baby Hitler.
Well, it's just, yeah, I mean...
From his perspective.
Well, I mean, not really, because nothing happened yet. It'd be one thing if fucking Harry Potter was like, I'm gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it! Yeah. His catchphrase.
Yeah. And then they just kill him. So Harry says, you don't think it was me, Professor? Dumbledore says, no, Harry, I do not think it was you. But I must ask you, is there something you wish to tell me? And Harry says, no, sir, nothing. And he's like, very well then. Filch will carry out your execution for lying. I was like, why would he not tell him the truth? That's one thing also I kind of was like, dude, like, Dumbledore is like your biggest fucking supporter. Like, you should tell this man like everything. And in the later ones, that's kind of like where they go with it. Like, he becomes more, but it's like these early ones, it's like, I can trust these two kids I just met like last year, but fucking this guy that, I mean, I guess he just met the old guy too. It's not like but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, last year he fucking gave you the win for fucking your house for no reason other than you being fucking Harry Potter, so. Also, I forgot that, like, I mean, when they show the hair that Hermione gets off the robe for the potion, it looks like a Bigfoot hair. It's like, I was like, what, is she turning into a Bigfoot? And then I was like, I forgot, oh yeah, she turns into like a cat person.
It was like a thatch.
Yeah. She pulls like the roof off of like a fucking medieval house. Like, yeah. So, I guess we really haven't given the spotlight to Crabbe and Goyle yet, but do we need to? There's a part where, like, I will have to say these two characters don't get much, but, like, these actors did a pretty good job of acting like Ron and Harry, I feel like. Which I was like, dude, pretty good, guys. Congrats. I don't know what they're up to now, but you're like, they both fucking blew up in a fucking magical like fucking explosion. They both died from eating expired floating cupcakes. Also, once they turn into Crabbe and Goyle, like Harry and Ron, Harry says, I think I know where Slytherin House is. I'm like, did you guys have like a fucking month to brew this potion and you didn't like find out where the fucking Slytherin House is? Like where Malfoy might be to go fuck the whole reason? I was like, come on.
Looks like the one dude's still making movies.
Oh, which one?
Coyle?
Croyle.
The other one was literally only in the Harry Potter.
Oh, Crabbe or Goyle? Or...
Yeah.
Well,
Crabbe. Never made it out of the Harry Potter universe.
He's still, like, on the set.
It's like, help me!
Yeah! He's like, I am in hell, literal hell. So this whole thing with, like, Tom Riddle in the diary where, like, this was, like, a version of fucking Voldemort when he was younger or something, like, I still don't, to this day, don't fucking understand, like, how the fuck he was able to affect shit in the present day as a fucking... I mean, I guess unless he's, like, a magical hologram or something, but it's, like... it's of his like younger self's will. So are they connected? I don't know. It's another thing like the first movie where it was like kind of just like a thing that happened where it was like, you know, I was like, there's not really tangible, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, that was not very compelling to me.
Right, yeah. Well, it was kind of like, it was interesting to see, like, when they go back in the past and you see, like, the events of, like, you know, Dumbledore when he was, like, not the headmaster yet. He was, like, a teacher. And, like, stuff like that. But, like, and, like, when Tom Riddle, before he became Voldemort, was there. But it's, like, okay, so is this full of shit? Is this, like, is he lying to Harry? Or, like, you know what I mean? I almost wonder, like, he was just showing him what he wanted to see. But I don't know. But having said that, like you said, it was more so kind of like the threat. It was like the first movie. The threat was there, but it wasn't because, like, it's, I guess Tom Riddle couldn't even touch him and try to do anything to him. So, like, it's also like he picked up his wand, but he never used it. So, like, how the fuck could a ghost grab his wand? Like, could he even have used it? Because he started stabbing that shit and it kills him. But it's like, if he could use the wand, I would have been like, fuck you, you're dead. You know what I mean? Like, killed Harry right then. But I think I'm looking too hard into it.
Got lots of questions on this one.
I know, right? So Hagrid goes to Azkaban and they fucking execute him. Could you believe that?
R.I.P.
Yeah. But then we got fucking Lucius Malfoy dressed as fucking George Washington in this film. He's got like his hair tied back and everything and in a bow. I was like, looks like fucking Captain Norrington from fucking Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, what's going on here, man? I liked the actual giant spider animatronic.
That was great.
Cool. Yeah,
really cool.
Aragog or whatever. This shit, the first time I saw it, fucking freaked me the fuck out because I was like,
Again, another effective, cool creature.
Yeah. He didn't make the Freakoff.
Maybe in part 2.
Yeah. But they're gonna leave, and he's like, "No, I'm not gonna let you go because fucking I don't kill Hagrid because he's like my friend, but I don't know you guys, so he's like, my sons and daughters will now feast," and I'm like, dude, there's barely enough meat there for like 2 of those.
Yeah, there were like a billion.
Yeah, I was like, how's that gonna work? Actually, one of the scariest parts of this whole thing for me was like not this part, but when they go to drive away and then one pops through the fucking window and it literally is like holding a gun to like Ron's head. I was like, That
was a cool scene, and I thought that was gonna, like, the movie was ending, and then I paused.
Yeah,
it. There's over an hour left of this. Like, holy,
what's going on? The basilisk was blinded by the phoenix that shows up to save Harry. It's like,
eyes pecked
come
out.
on. I forgot about that. It was like,
he's been blinded.
yeah, it's like, okay, well, this thing's fucking worthless then. It's like, he potatoes it with a sword, fucking Bam Margera style.
It's like 3-pound rigatoni.
He's like, I'm Harry Potter and I'm going to be beating this basilisk ass all day. Also, at the very end, when they all get taken out of there, like, who is it? Gilderoy, Ron, Harry, and Jenny, like, they had established that phoenixes can carry, like, a ton of weight. But, like, I'm like, does that extend to the fucking people that they're carrying? Because, like, Ron is, like, one-handed holding on to fucking Ron's cloak, and with the other hand, he's holding another person. So is he, like, fucking God?
He's magical.
Well, he's just fucking God. He can carry a lot, I guess.
They're like, boy, you're gonna carry that way.
Did you think about that, or no? At that point, you were probably like, fucking in this.
Well, I mean, the world is full of magic, so, like...
Right, but it's like, yeah, it was just kind of, like, weird.
I didn't think about it, but it's a good question.
These
questions need to be answered.
You know what the funniest thing would be, though, is if, like, instead of it was, like, they all went up like that, somehow the fucking Phoenix was carrying them all together by, like, they were all, like, right close together. I'd be like, huh? Like, all by their, like, fucking, like, this. Or, like... I'd be like, eh. Should grow its feet.
Blair Witch style, they just get stretched out.
Yeah. They're like, oh! Yeah, here we go. Dumbledore. Here's some more in-movie bullshit. You both realize, of course, that in the past few hours, you have broken perhaps a dozen school rules. Harry, Ron? Yes, sir. Dumbledore. And that there is a sufficient evidence to have you both expelled. Yes, sir. Therefore, it is only fitting that you both receive special awards for services to the school.
Yeah, baby.
What the fuck?
That was great.
Dumbledore is like a fucking maverick. He's like... This is like if fucking... What's his name? Like Raj from fucking Lethal Weapon fucking ran the damn school. He's out of control, man. So Voldemort gave Harry some of his powers, and that's how he's able to, like, you know. This is also like Dumbledore fucking like theorizing. I mean, he doesn't have like a fucking, you know. But Lucius Malfoy is lit like you without the podcast light. He's like literally it's just like his face, and for some reason in that same scene where everyone is lit perfectly, it's like, huh?
Mist and shadows.
Yeah! He's like, to the edge of night. I'm like, oh. Yeah, dude, and then fucking he loses Dobby, his servant. Which I was like, this is kind of stretching it here. Like, he puts a sock in the fucking... And it's not like he said, this book is now yours.
Harry pulled another fast one.
Yeah, I was like, how did he accept those terms, though? Because, like, Harry puts a sock in this book and gives it to Malfoy, who doesn't even say it was his.
Got him.
Then he gives the book to fucking... for Dobby to carry, but doesn't say, hey, I gift this to you now, and whatever's inside of it. And then he opens the fucking book, and there's a sock in there, and he's like, you freed me. And I'm like, huh? If I was Malfoy, I'd be like, what are you talking about? That doesn't make any sense.
Got him in a loophole.
Yeah. But then he frees him, and Malfoy Sr. was gonna fucking kill him. Like, I don't know if...
Terry Silver.
Well, like, I don't know if you knew, like, what the curse he was gonna fucking cast was or whatever, because he gets cut off, but it's, like, the one that insta-kills somebody.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he starts saying, ah, and it's like, that's Avada Kedavra, which is the killing curse.
Mm.
So, like, which, watching this again, I never even thought about it, when, you know, because I hadn't really used it or shown it. And I was like, what the fuck? He was gonna literally kill a child.
He's evil.
Over, what was he gonna go to jail for fucking, you know, he's going to Azkaban for life for murdering Harry Potter over his servant. Like, what the fuck was he thinking?
Worth it.
But he got saved by fucking Dobby, who stopped him. Like, you want to go to fucking jail for your entire life for killing a kid. Fucking idiot. But, like...
He wasn't thinking of the consequences.
That's true.
He had bloodlust.
Yeah, that's true. He was like, yeah. He's like in the 9.
He's seeing red.
Yeah, he was.
And Harry's going to be dead.
That's true, yeah. He was like, I'm gonna die. My thing is, like, why don't they train fucking house elves? Because he could do fucking magic without a wand. It's like, these things could be like fucking Super Saiyans or some shit. Just train them up, and then when Voldemort comes back, they just ream him.
You need to send a list of all these questions to Just Kidding Rowling.
Yeah, I'll send it to her to fix for movies that have already... and books that have been already made. And are over. Also, could you fucking believe this at the end when Dumbledore cancels the final exams?
Yeah.
And all the teachers were like, you fucking asshole. Because they just spent all this fucking time making these exams, and he's like, due to recent fucking events, I'm canceling all the exams. And everyone's like, the teachers are like, dude, why didn't you, like, tell us this before we even fucking started doing this?
Those are important evaluations that we need to...
Well, it's also, like, all the work they poured into coming up with, like, they could have been using that for other shit. Like, what? Also, Hagrid shows up and is like, stand up, Hagrid, take a bow. Like, the whole school is fucking clapping for Hagrid, which was legit. He was, like, almost crying because, like, he doesn't really get any, like, you know, He doesn't get the spotlight shown on him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then
That was funny.
he gets a happy ending. Or, I mean, he's like, oh! Like, the whole movie is a happy ending. I mean, like, Hagrid receives a fucking sexual favor.
You had to spell it out.
I had to be like this movie and spell it out for the fucking audience, apparently. It's like, but yeah, that is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone and Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, brought to you by Buddy Shotz.
What could happen next?
Yeah, I wonder what they had, you know, if you guys have anything to say about these films, or, you know, if you've watched these films, tell us in the comments, because we'd love to read them. That was sincere, but it sounded like shit. It sounded like not sincere at all. It sounded like a complete asshole. Or it sounded like I was being an asshole, not like I was an asshole completely. Do you have any other final
Buddy Shots.
warnings? Or
I'm warning you.
do you have any final words, not warnings?
No, I mean, I think our thoughts were
That I wouldn't
well
shut the
told.
fuck up. And I just talked about it for like 10 hours.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens next.
That's awesome. But
Not for a while.
Yeah, that's good though,
pottered
because
out.
you're interested in like
Yeah, I
what
mean, it's
happens
good enough
next.
stories with good enough characters.
Yeah. I was just hoping this wasn't going to be like another like I absolutely hated this week kind of thing, so
I don't know how anyone could hate these movies. I mean,
Right.
They're good.
that's true. Yes. I think like maybe the only thing I could see someone being like, I don't want to watch these because they're for kids, and like they're not like, that wouldn't be necessarily incorrect, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad movie.
Yeah, that's
Like,
I wouldn't dismiss them with that. in that
right.
way.
Well, that's the thing is like I know like certain people in the past have been like, I'm not going to watch these. You know, I'd rather watch like Lord of the Rings because I mean that's obviously a more like mature kind of deal, but like these are just as valid. I mean, they're good. I mean, you know, they just because they take the only thing that even links them is that magic is involved. But I mean, like it's not like if you look at Lord of the Rings, there's a lot less magic going on than fucking, you know. It's more like a war film.
Yeah, I mean, if I was like 6 or 7 years old when I first saw these, they
Yeah.
would be my favorite movies ever.
Or if I was out of high school. I was like,
But I'm 40, and
Yeah.
I think they're good.
I think the older I get, the more I'm able to kind of be open-minded about a lot of things, and it's kind of let me see and watch a lot. Watch films that I would have never watched, or play games or experience things that, like, when I was younger, even if I didn't think that, I'd maybe be, like, pressured into, like, you shouldn't watch this because it's for kids kind of thing. But, you know, it's nice to be able to kind of watch what you want to watch and stuff like that. And have an open mind, because sometimes you miss stuff.
Like
You know
Santa
what I
with
mean?
muscles.
Yeah, I mean, or like Bound, a movie that I might have never even thought to watch until you nominated it, or like Glenn or Glenda, or like, you know, back in the day I watched. I'm not trying to bring up like every gay movie I can think of, but, like, you know, like Brokeback Mountain. I thought it was a pretty damn good movie back in the day, but if you told somebody that,
I thought you were going to say Birdcage.
I've never seen that. I want to, but
Directed by Mike Nichols, director
Nice.
of Day of the Dolphin.
yeah, but like if you had told somebody back then, they would kind of be like, you know, a guy's not supposed to be like enjoying something like that, you know, unless you were a guy that was into other guys, and I think that's wrong. But it
was more ignorant times.
That's true, but you know, I think also just in general, like I'm to the point where I don't give a flying fuck what anybody thinks about what I have to say, or what I think. I mean. I don't give a fuck about what you guys think I have to say. I'm gonna say it. It's like what I meant to say was I don't care what other people think about what I want to do, or you know what I mean. Like I have my own.
I think that was a good ending.
Yeah, it's like. Well, Matt. Until next time.
Until next time.
Oh wait, we didn't even rate these.
Oh yeah. I'll go 7.95 for both these.
Nice.
How about you?
Probably like probably like a 9.95 for the sequel, and the first one's probably like a 7.95.
That works.
It's hard for me to not like the whole franchise for sure, 9.95, but like you know, the earlier ones are kind of harder to get through, like we've kind of said, because of they're not hard to get through. They're yeah, you know. Well, rewind and listen to the fucking review again.
Yeah.
We just talked about it for fucking almost like how long we've been talking here about. Well, that's not too long, an hour and 24 minutes. I guess it maybe is for some things, but
I have a final statement to make.
I'll let you go ahead and give your final statement. I'll say something, and then you can go ahead and end it off.
Cool.
To all those that seek refuge, you can find it at Buddy Shotz.
Refuge from sanity.
Yeah! from Dumbledore's fucking wicked ways. What do you think you won? Fuck you. Go ahead, Matthew.
This series is in the early stages of greathood. Bye.
Matt, you gotta help me here. Whew. I'm dying.
Okay, I got one last spell here. End Podcasticus.
Before we leave, let me tell you a little something. Hogwarts funk you up. Hogwarts funk you up. Hogwarts funk you up. Hogwarts funk you up. I said Hogwarts funk you up. Hogwarts funk you up. Hogwarts funk you up. Hogwarts funk you up. Broom, jump on it. If you're magical, then flaunt it. If you're freaky, then own it. Don't brag about it, come show me. Come on, brooms, jump on it. If you're magical, then flaunt it. Well, it's Saturday night and we in the spot. Don't believe it, just watch. Come on. Ha! Don't believe it, just watch. Don't believe it, just watch. Don't believe it, just watch. Don't believe it, just watch.
Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time for our Christmas special with Claus and On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Oh, and folks, and just between us, that was no accident. I won't tell the Ministry of Magic. Will you?
Come on.
Dude, do that shit that Wario does where he like bites his hat. I finally got my letter. I wrote this shit. Matt, I finally got my letter.
Cut.
Yeah, this is not good already. I left it at home, but I did.
You're like,
Yeah. I always love when you do that because it's like fucking
That's stupid. Yeah. I want this cool.
Yeah.
Buddy Shosticus Podcastico. Ooh. I turned it.
That's like it's like a different version of Harry Potter than I watched or ever read. Where like they cast and then they go, ooh.
I'm like, it's okay.
You're like, it's okay, it's alright. Merlin told me so.
9.95. Emotion is feeling so high. 9.95. In overdrive. Put your body in overdrive.
9.95.